Hello, my friends, and welcome to another pick a card reading. I hope you're all doing really well, and I'm sending you big hugs and lots of love. So today's reading, a reminder of your worth. I just really wanted to channel a message of beauty, love, and of healing to you all. So here it is, and it's not sometimes. It's always really good to be reminded of your worth and your importance. And I did a reading beforehand about a reminder of your importance. This one is channeling a sense of worth and love to you. So you have 3 piles to choose from: pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Timestamps will be in the description box below, my darlings, and I'll see you there. Bye. Hello, pile 1, and welcome to your reading. So you chose this card, which is Dance into Light. Oh my God. A reminder of your worth, pile 1. Dance into the light and feel yourself become one with it. Wow. So beautiful. I love that. And on that note, I realize I don't have any incense burning, so excuse me while I light some. But you know, this is, I think, definitely some kind of, maybe some reminder for you to travel into a space where, or be in a space where you can move to the beat of your own drum, where you can move into a space where you're able to bask in the light, you're able to revel in the light, you're able to really engage with who you're supposed to be, and just mainly having a sense of freedom. Because, I don't know, do you remember when you were a child and you had no inhibitions about dancing or just mucking around and just doing whatever you wanted to? And, you know, that sense of freedom that you had? So this is a reminder that when you truly step into your light and you move towards that space of where you really truly feel light, also in the respect of weight, dancing into a sense of lightness, a sense of elevation, a sense of a higher frequency of vibration. It's really going to help you. I would really put on I'd put on your favorite track or one of your favorite tracks that you've loved or that you love, or particularly one that resonates when you were a kid. You know, that's always something I really like. A song that makes me feel like this is a really old track, but it's called Rome by the B-52s. That was like from my first ever cassette tape album that I bought. Rome by the B-52s. Just, like the first line is boy Mercury, shooting through every degree. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, it's just like, it just helps you to, sorry, I had to sing it to myself to like remember what the words were, because I just usually howl at the top of my voice in the shower. So yes, so it's that kind of feeling. And I know that if I think about that song and I just sing that song, I'm just in this space of like real beauty and light. And you know, there's just so much kind of, you know, move into your light and be all spiritual. And that's all great, right? Yeah. But me, I come from a practical kind of background and application in terms of my spirituality with my Capricorn moon. So it's really important to put it to something that you truly understand. And coming back to your first memory of what you loved and what you danced to as a kid really helps, because it brings you back to that sense of innocence and purity, and helps you to open your heart in a really beautiful sense. So and also back then you weren't worried about anything else. You weren't worried about other people and what they thought of you. Back then you were just dancing to the rhythm of your own beat. Do you know what I mean? So that's what this is. Beautiful. Oh, I love it already. Okay, so let's have a little look at your oracle cards. Okay, so we've got the stars and the wyvern. Oh, I love that. Okay, right. Because this deck can be a little bit harsh sometimes, but we've got a beautiful kind of opening here. So we've got dance into the light. the stars, and your secrets are safe. So I think what this is trying to promote is that you're safe, okay? You're safe and you're held, my darling Par 1. You're safe to be here. I feel like I'm holding like a little duckling. That's what I feel like. There's this like tenderness and beauty that's there, but you know, a little duckling just goes and does what it's doing, you know, and doesn't really worry about anything else. And I think you've been on this kind of journey where you've been through a lot. It may have been difficult to trust people. It may have been difficult to see who was really on your side. And I think that you've been taking your time to make sure that you know who you can trust. So this is something that kind of, you know, your rewards are going to be paid off. Like you're going to finally see and understand who truly is on your side. You can breathe for a little bit. Do you know what I mean? You can rest, you can relax. Okay, so we've got, I remember seeing this come up. So this is cannabis sativa, and then we've also got, what else? Yeah, it's reversed. So with the moon reversed, sorry, with the moon, there's moon, Venus, Saturn, Neptune, and I think that's water and earth. So with it being reversed, you know, there may have been a reluctance to be able to relax and to be able to actually allow these things to happen. And what Cannabis Reversed is saying, that you can relax. It's okay. Take a breath. I'm feeling really breathless as I'm talking to you. There's this kind of like, woo, I've got to keep on doing stuff. And even though you got the exhilaration of this dancing into light, there's something very like amazing about it. Whereas like, I think that there's been a little bit of like heaviness that has been with you. And what the universe wants to say is that it's okay. You know, you're worth this time of you letting go and chilling out. It's okay. And then we have Plato. At the touch of a lover, everyone becomes a poet. Love is simply the name for desire and the pursuit of the whole. The madness of love is the greatest of heaven's blessings. So at the touch of a lover, everyone becomes a poet. So it's almost like having the sense of rose-tinted glasses. If you see things with this kind of like positive outlook, you will have a positive outlook. You will start to see that everything is kind of nice. Love is simply the name for the desire, and the pursuit of the whole, which means that like love is just the name, the label that we give to it, but it's a real difference to express the actual sense of love. And it's all about the doing. And I just think that this is to do with yourself. Like this is about you showing love to yourself and understanding who you are in truth to yourself, and getting in that state of ecstatic kind of delight with yourself. And then we have 2 astrology cards, and then we have 8th house and we have 10th house. Okay, right. Where am I going to put these guys? Okay. So I will shimmy these across while I'm talking about it. So 8th house, I think this is something that, you know, maybe you're not used to giving yourself a bit of a break. Maybe you're quite focused on certain things, on certain aspects, and those are the things that take precedence over anything. 10th house is about career, it's about drive, it's the house of Capricorn, it's the house that is about I'm going to be the CEO, the top position of this. I'm going to be driven here. So with this to come up, it's almost like taking a rest is something that may be a little bit foreign to you. It may be something that you're not used to. And that's okay. That's why things like ecstatic dance or like some kind of embodied movement is really good for you to like get into your muscles, get into your, you know, into the freedom of what your body wants to express. Trauma and all sorts of other things, stresses and strains, they're all kind of kept in the body as like it keeps quite tight, or it keeps like it gets trapped in the body, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. Stuff like that gets trapped in the body. So it's a really good way, dancing and being able to free yourself and just being silly, completely silly, is a really good way to loosen that up and also get yourself out of your head and into your body. Also, you know, if you can't like, I mean, you know, we all have our phones, so putting on your favorite track, it shouldn't be too hard. But honestly, just dance like no one's watching. That's your kind of thing for today. Dance like no one's watching, pile 1. Wow. And you've got a tract here. Beautiful, beautiful. Spirit must be coming like a load through me, because I'm telling you, like whenever I do readings, I just yawn and yawn and yawn. Not when I'm talking to people, but when I'm doing readings and when I'm doing it for a collective, it must like I just yawn loads. Spirit comes through me quite strongly. So yeah, you're like, what's really interesting with this kind of particular symbol, I always see the Caduceus, or Caduceus, however you want to say it, because at the top of it, you've got in the two of cups, you have that lion's head with the wings. So, and then that's the image that you've got there. Looks slightly phallic, if I'm honest, but anyway, so yeah, you've got this like attract kind of energy that's saying to you that I don't know, I feel like you're bringing things to yourself that are going to push you into a space where you're going to have to stop, and it's something that's unknown. And I feel like there's a bit of fear around this, pile 1. I feel like you're a little bit scared to take that step into the unknown. And it's weird because, or interesting more say, because, more that I'll say, because it's like, it's just something that you're not used to. And whenever we're not used to something, you know, it's just good to kind of just roll with the punches. Go with what's happening. The more that we try and resist, usually there's just so much there's just so much like effort that's needed. I think I'm going to have to go and reprogram my brain, because I don't know what's going on at the moment. I think I'm dizzy I think I might have to go and like dance a bit and then come back, like shake it all out. Be interesting to see what would happen if I did that. So let's see. So my friends, that was pretty good. You should try it. Like any time that you feel that you're stuck in a position, or particularly if you're sitting at a desk doing a lot of work, it's really good to kind of like just get free and into your body and just really open. It'd be interesting to see on the video what the difference is in my speech. I already feel like I'm more connected as well with you. So I think that was Spirit's way of telling me, Reena, go and dance for a little bit. So yeah, so try it. Please tell me if you go and do that, pile 1. Get your favorite track, or your favorite track at the moment, or the first one that comes to mind, and just dance, just have a boogie, just like, yeah. I just did a lot of movement, so yeah, I do like a mixture of like Tai Chi movements, Qigong movements, martial arts movements, belly dance movements, all the stuff. So yeah. Okay, so let's see what messages to remind you of your worth, pile 1, will come through. 7 of Wands, 5 of Pentacles reversed, 7 of Wands reversed, 7 of Wands reversed, 5 of Pentacles reversed, the Emperor, the 10 of Swords, and we'll have one more. I'll just have one, the Five of Swords. So, okay. So we got some kind of like mental anguish that's going on here. So I think like the main thing that's coming across here is that the idea of something and the idea of something not happening to your, you know, to how you wanted it to happen, and that's going to be the main kind of perpetrator in you being able to feel okay about a situation. And you know what I'm getting? I'm thinking about when I didn't, or when, say for example, that you are working a lot, you're working a lot and you don't feel like you're able to take time off because, you know, you know that you've got a lot to do. And one thing I've learned is that it's so important to schedule your rest if you need to, because we need so much more than just sleep. We need things that are going to help us to revive, to refresh, which is indicative of what I just did with stopping and then just like going and dancing and getting into my body that whole time for a good like 4 minutes, and then coming back to see if it would help me connect deeper with you, and it has done so, or deeper with this reading to express to you. So Seven of Wands is kind of like, I see that a little bit as like a card of overwhelm. But then the Five of Pentacles is understanding that you need to come to a space of rest, which is going into this space of dancing into the light. The Emperor is the structure. You may have inherited this kind of work pattern from a father figure. You may also are the emperor of your own castle. You know, you're the emperor of your own land. So it's very much that you want to keep all your checks and balances in place. And it's difficult, particularly with these Ten of Swords, because if there are some things that you can't work out, there may be a tendency to go a bit overboard in the respect of like, oh, you know, that things actually seem a bit worse than they are. That you may believe that things are worse than they actually are. So it seems to me that, you know, and I say this to like, you know, when people used to, I used to hear a lot of people talk to me about taking time off of work and things like that. I'm feeling really guilty about taking time off of work. The world still revolves. Life still goes on. When people pass, suddenly, you know, not everything, and if they're in an important job, things come together and people make things happen. So, you know, work is not really an excuse for you to compromise your own personal happiness and self. So it's important to understand that, you know, it will still be there when you get back. But there is this kind of like tendency to kind of think that it's all going to fall apart if you don't kind of stick around. You may have gotten to the end of that, and you may have gotten to the point where like, now I actually do have to put myself first. So I think I've got to, like, because this is a collective reading, there may be some of you that are in that space where like, you know, I actually have to think about chilling out, or I am going to chill out, but the idea that everything's going to fall apart, it's not. It's just a bit of a mindset that you've got, which is understandable, you know, with these 2 5s here. You know, it's kind of this structure that you want to kind of keep in place. And if you kind of step away from that, it's almost like those 2 pillars have been taken away. So you're thinking, how am I going to like maintain that? But, you know, and that's where the 7 of Wands comes in. That's what that feeling is. But really, these are in place. You know, you've accepted defeat, that you can't do everything. You understand that you need to come in and you need to get some rest, and you need to come in from the cold. And you're understanding that you can't do it. Like, this is what this is. You can't do everything. But because of the ego mind, it may be a little bit difficult. And whereas that's where we result in the Ten of Swords. So I think what's interesting here is that it's, yeah, just take it easy on yourself, Pile 1. Take it easy, and just be open to the fact that there is space for you to take rest. There really is. Have confidence that things will happen. And if they don't, you know, just at least take one day where you're able. That's what I'm saying, like the 5 minutes where you like do that kind of dancing, that's your start. You know, you don't have to take like a week or 2 weeks off. And And even if you're paranoid about, like, you know, taking a day off, see if you can build up that sense of kind of security so that you can do that, because you don't want to be working for the rest of your life. Do you know what I mean? Okay. 7 of Wands is clarified by Judgment. I think you know that you need to, like, take the rest. You know that you need to do something about it. The Tower reversed. The 7 of Swords reversed. Yeah, you know. The 3 of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. And Justice reversed. Wow. So I don't know if, like, maybe something had happened to your, like, business or to your work or to, like, your personal sense of self, because the self-esteem is, like, shot to bits here. There's something about, you know, and I understand, because, like, if something had happened to your enterprise, or, like, you know, it's your livelihood. They call it livelihood because it's who, you know, it's what makes us. It's our career, our service, our purpose to the world. And if something has compromised this, then and something that might have been really unfair, then of course it's going to be really difficult to do that. That's why I'm saying to you, take small steps in the respect of, like, getting yourself rest, like just dancing to your favorite track for like 5 minutes. That's nothing. You can go into the toilet and do it now if you're, like, at work, even if you're in a job. So yeah, it's just kind of like making sure that you carve that time out for yourself to, like, let yourself rest a bit. With Judgment kind of tells me that you know that this is the case. You know that this is actually a source of your weakness, that you're not taking time out for yourself. I don't know if you've got some kind of remembrance about times before when it was a lot easier. And, you know, it's okay. It's okay. And it's all right as well that you might not be able to do it in the same way as you did back then as well. It's, you know, there's conditioning that's been happening over this time. So, and then you've also got the 5 of Pentacles, which is clarified by the Tower reverse. There's just there's still some kind of beliefs that need to kind of be worked through. I do also think that with this card, there's a sense of, you know, not necessarily thinking that everything's going to be gone when you get back. You know, it's like it's like almost feeling that nothing can survive if I'm not there, which isn't the truth. And I think you're starting to become honest with yourself. And part of being, like, a good emperor, doesn't matter if you're male or female, but an emperor is somebody who is the king, the male energy of dominion. It's that sense. I think you do understand that even emperors have to rest, which is where that 7 comes in. You may have been fooling yourself for a little while, thinking that you don't need rest and that you don't need to do this, and maybe something that you're doing may constitute as rest, but there's something that you need to integrate more so. You're being cradled. Like I said at the beginning, there's this sense of being cradled, but there is resistance. I feel like this, you don't want that to be, because you feel like you're a fully grown duck. Do you know what I mean? So it's that kind of, like, thing of where, you know, it's okay. It's okay to be taken care of now and again. It's all right. And we need that. I am thinking that with these last 4 cards, I'm thinking that maybe something had happened previously to kind of mar your confidence in others and also in what's going on. So that's understandable, but it's a muscle. It needs to be built. So, you know, you can't burn yourself out completely in order to compensate for what happened. I think it's just understanding the balance and awareness in that space, so that you can attract the right kind of people, you know, to help you. So I think that's really important. So let's go into your oracle cards, pile 1. Wow, the red crowned crane. I love that. Loyalty. Wow, what were we just saying about the whole thing? About, you know, about people that you can find. So there's something about you harnessing the power to attract the right people for you, pile 1. And then we have Archangel Metatron, empowered self-embodiment. I mean, Archangel Metatron was known as one of the most powerful angels in the Archangel kingdom. Also, he was also the one that, or Metatron was also the one that wrote down everything, was the scribe. And this was mainly because he was human. He took Metatron took the form of Enoch before Enoch became Metatron. So there's that sense of really understanding where things have been before. So here with this kind of injury that's gone on, I feel it's important for you to realize that that's part of your armor, and understanding how this works so that you can actually like move on and become even stronger. So Metatron is by your side helping you with that. And then I've got 2 of these affirmative cards. So this one, wow, impermanence. So life is always changing. I drift easily through changes, good and bad. Sorry, my nail is really bad there. Right here. Life is always changing. I drift easily through those changes, good and bad. I can take comfort in knowing that I will leave them behind. As I drift from the good times, I can take comfort in knowing that more will come my way. Impermanence is an equal opportunity non-entity. Wow, that's pretty deep. Pretty deep. So impermanence is going to be a key component in you kind of riding the wave of this current leg of your journey. And another affirmative card, you've got forgiveness. Congratulations, you've been given one of the most powerful superpowers there is, forgiveness. Imagine that you've been bitten by a radioactive forgiver. The point is you suddenly have the ability to forgive people for their flaws, for their bad days, their unkind moments and their mistakes. And the best thing about forgiveness is that you can apply it to yourself too. Have fun with wielding your new power, but remember, with great forgiveness comes great inner peace. Wow, that's pretty good. Can't pop that there. And then I'll do this one. Wow. It's your own responsibility to expand instead of just contracting. Wow, these cards are on point for you, pile 1. Love it. And then I've also got these really beautiful cards, which are like the power cards. So this is reminding you of some powers that you have. So you are powerful, knowing that receiving is as important as giving. Knowing that receiving is as important as giving, you let people help you and show they care. Wow. The power to cooperate. And then another power, the power to tolerate. Wow. You are powerful, grateful for the quietness that an insult forces upon you. You count your enemies as your friends for teaching you how to act rather than react. Oh, wow. Part 1. Beautiful messages there. So a reminder of your worth. I hope you enjoyed that. Really beautiful messages, really powerful messages to help you to remember to rest. And, you know, you've done a lot. So please just be kind to yourself. Pile 1. That's very important. So beautiful messages. I hope you liked it. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. And if you want to get in touch for a private reading, you have the details down below. But otherwise, my darlings, you have a beautiful day. And remember that honesty is always key. Take care. Bye. Hi, pile 2, and welcome to your reading. So, a reminder of your worth. Little message of love from the universe. I don't think it's very little. I think it's pretty big, actually. So it's like a big smack of a hug for you. Wow, the attraction. I think that's about remembering like the beauty that is within, remembering that we are alluring, that we have this beauty, that we have this attraction that allows things to come into us, that we can embrace, that we can envelop, that we can really express joy and connection with. And reminding us that we are attractive, that we are beautiful, that we can have these things regardless of what we look like. It's more about the energy that we exude. So that's the first message that I'm getting. Okay, let's have a look at your other cards, pile 2. We have the Black Cat. We have your luck will soon change. We have, wow, we have Conium maculatum. That's not what it's called, but let me just double check what that is called. Oh, sorry about that. So interesting that it didn't have it. It's hemlock. Now, hemlock is a pretty, like, I mean, this whole oracle is about quite, like, it is a bit of the poisonous path in this. So hemlock is about you making your own choices and about you making your own decisions. It's about you really, I think, to be honest, the actual like sense of having truth within what you're doing and conviction in what you're doing is going to really help. It helps with the boundaries, the borders and other worlds, like vivid dreams and journeys. So it's about you like paying attention to those. You have an opportunity to get unstuck and move through anything that is stopping you. And yeah, that's kind of facing the situation head on, really being as kind of direct as you can be. So the reason why Socrates is here is because Socrates ingested hemlock in order to commit suicide. So, you know, it's a definitive like message that I'm getting here, that stay true to your convictions. Like continue to walk on the path that you've been walking. So if you feel that you are questioning yourself in the respect of what you're doing, you feel a little bit like scared, maybe a little bit unsure that what you're doing is the right thing. This is saying that even if you haven't seen any kind of increase in the respect of like your returns in what your efforts are, it's going to change very soon. Continue to persevere. I am also noticing the 11 here, 11 being a master number, the initiator, the first of the 3 master builder numbers. So I think it's really important for you to have faith in what you're doing and your message and your goals. Keep going. The black cat is on your path and helping you and telling you, stay, keep on going. Okay, so we've got Gemini as well, Gemini reversed. I don't know if you're like facing any kind of like kickback in the respect of what you're doing. You may, I just get a sense that there's a lack of confidence in the respect of you being able to go forward. You thinking that the message that you're putting out there is maybe not as attractive as it could be. And what this is trying to say is that don't care about it so much. Just keep on going, because your fan base is going to love you and they're going to want you for who you are. You know, just keep on going. You're amazing. You're absolutely amazing. And then we've got, wow, Yoko Ono. And then yes is always the answer. Love is performance art that takes place among the clouds. And love is not a dream. You can remember it if you want to. Wow. Yes is always the answer. Love is performance art that takes place among the clouds. Love is not a dream. You can remember it if you want to. So what this is saying is that the impossible is not impossible. It's not impossible. The impossible is very much possible. Like what you may think is an arduous kind of slog, there is an opportunity for you to kind of go forward with it. And believe in yourself. And then we've got this card, which is abandon. So it's almost like abandon any cares or worries that you have in connection with this, with what's going on here. It's important for you to just remember that. And I don't think that like great things can be achieved unless you have that sense of like careless abandon. Not to say that, you know, I mean, like with hemlock being here, it just kind of makes me think that you are holding something hot. You have got something that's quite sensitive. So, and also with Gemini as well being there. So there's that kind of like sense of like, how do you manage this in a way that you can be true in integrity to yourself and also to others? So, you know, the main priority here is for you to be true to yourself. And remember that just keep on taking one step at a time. People are going to hate on it. They are. It's just the way it is. But that doesn't need to matter. And I'm not going to lie. We're not, you know, most of you wonderful people that are coming to this reading, you know, you have a sense of empathy, if not very deep empathy. And it's difficult when things, you know, we say we don't care, but boy, it hurts. I mean, you know, if it doesn't hurt, then sometimes you like deny your own sense of humanity. So it's important to recognize that. And sometimes, you know, we need to, you know, it's okay. But then it's almost like the art of being able to discard that and come forward with our own kind of values and ideals and really try to stick by them, even though it may be really difficult because some of the people that we're around don't express those same ideals and values. But it doesn't mean anything about you being wrong. As long as you're not hurting anyone else, and that's all that matters. Knight of Wands. You've got the Four of Wands. You've got the Knight of Wands. You've got Strength reversed. You've got the Knight of Swords. Okay, we can go for 2. I wouldn't normally, but because we haven't got so many top cards, I'll go for 2 here. Wow, the Emperor reversed. And Temperance. Okay, so what I see here is I see some kind of like... there may be some stuff going on with the paternal side. I just put it out there. But but it's in terms of structure. I don't know if like there's some kind of... dare I say it? Like there's a bit of an allergy to the structure. I don't know, with this kind of top line gets me that there's an attack on the self-esteem. And the one thing that came up when I saw Yoko Ono was that, not that she was great, but the fact that, you know, her husband used to, like, I think it's quite well known that John Lennon wasn't the nicest of husbands. So, and you know, I love the Beatles, but it's quite well documented that he used to, she was a victim of domestic violence. So, like, I think that it's really important to understand that even when you're faced with such kind of adversity, that there is still a primary goal of you being able to work the light within yourself, to understand that you are attractive, that you are worthy, that you are deserving of this life and what it's supposed to bring to you. Because with Gemini reversed, I just feel that, and because I see Strength reversed, Emperor reversed, and Knight of Swords reversed, there's this sense of like real disempowerment from a major male figure in life. So I don't know, and it's interesting how it's appeared here. So, and the Emperor is that, like, if it was going to signify someone, it would signify somebody of those qualities who would use their maleness. It would be the toxic masculine, basically. That's what the Emperor reversed is, the epitome of the toxic masculine. So, and, you know, she was married to somebody who was very big, you know, one of the biggest names in all music history. So it's interesting to have this here. It's almost like you feel that you're up against something that you might not be able to conquer. And this is kind of like stopping on you being able to communicate yourself. Because with the Knight of Swords, I see it as someone who like wants to go, and wants to go forward but can't. It's not allowed to. And this is more in like the saying and the thoughts, like there even might be a slight castration of self in the respect of your thoughts. Slightly Queen of Swordsy reversed as well, because the Queen of Swords is the ultimate person who like talks badly about themselves, has negative self thoughts and beliefs, and also like talks to themselves in a way that is completely undermining of their own self-worth and self-belief. But whereas the Knight of Swords is almost like, you know, it's almost like the lesser version of that, in a way, and also not allowing yourself to communicate. It's very much actually the card of somebody who would not be able to say something. And I used to work with vulnerable women in these spaces. So this would be very significant of you know, somebody who is in trouble. Not to say that that's what's happening here, but it's in terms of the effect of what this lack of self-esteem does. And it's really interesting, actually, and I will expand on this, because when I was working with these women, you know, it's a process. So it doesn't just happen straight away. It happens like, first of all, there'll be an incident, and then it will get worse. It will slowly get worse and worse and worse till it gets to the point where this person has no strength at all. So this is, in a way, this is what I can see is happening, because I think there's like kind of concentration towards a lost cause. There's concentration towards something that is taking away your energy. And particularly with Gemini being reversed, I always see as the social butterfly who's in a cage, who's in a glass, you know, like when I don't know if you ever saw that. I might be showing my age here, but like I just saw like a blue butterfly in a glass container, like a glass oval, like a kind of dome, and it's trapped. It's not allowed to like move. And that's what I see here. And then there's that belief that, you know, that kind of needs to kind of come through for you. So yeah, the universe is reminding you to, because you have got that Knight of Wands here. But I am feeling like this Knight of Wands might be somebody who's either quite temporal, and there may be periods of like happiness, but then it's only when this person is like the Knight of Wands as opposed to the Emperor reversed. It also could be you as well. Like things can go really well when you're in a good space and when you're in a strong space, but then that's only temporal because it's the Knight. And it's also, I feel like it's also things that happened in the past as well. And because we're going off towards this side and moving towards there. And it's almost like trying to maintain the status quo, trying to maintain your own balance, which you do really well. But there is like other factors which cause you to kind of question your own self-belief and confidence here. I do also see like this could be relevant to not just a person. This could be relevant to like social groups, social situations. It could be to do with family, and they all link anyway. You know, how you would deal with in a work situation is usually indicative of how you have dealt with things in an interpersonal you know, relation, or you know, interactions. So yeah, so let's have a look at how you can increase your self-confidence. What are the steps that you can take to do that, my beautiful pile 2? Oh, I just wanted to tell you that the universe loves you, and I'm sending you so much love, my darlings. Abandon all the worries that come with all of this and set yourself free, my darlings. Set yourself free. I don't think this is easy, because I don't see, like, you've got strength reversed. I think this is quite a difficult situation to be in, and honestly, all I can do is just send you the biggest hug, pile 2, because it's tough. It's really tough. Okay, 4 of Wands. Could I please have a clarification? 7 of Cups. It's a dream. The 4 of Wands is a dream. Oh, Temperance again, which is clarifying the Knight of Wands. Queen of Swords reversed. She came up. Do you remember what I said? No, too many. Lovely. 10 of Wands reversed. Thank you. Ace of Pentacles reversed. Death reversed. Okay. With Death reversed, I see like this kind of sense of not allowing something to end when it needs to end. And the only thing I think of is something gets rotten. It starts to become putrid. There's some really horrific stories about people who've passed away in flats and they've ended up like just being locked in their flat, and then they get found, and that's what I could see. So you have to be careful. That's why hemlock is there, because it could push you to that kind of state, and I've been there. I understand it. So I'm really telling you, Pile 2, you're amazing. And if that black dog of darkness comes towards you, just greet it and listen to what it has to say, and know that you're never alone. There is always help, and you will always be looked after and cared for as long as you take the first step yourself to do something for yourself. You know, just to, you know, you are worthy. You really are. And remember that. Ace of Pentacles clarifying the Emperor reversed. It's almost like everything that you try to start, it doesn't kind of come to fruition. Now the thing is that like in the respect of, that's only a belief, you know, it's not true. I really don't think it's true. I think what it is that if things, you know, it's almost like when we have a lack of strength, you know, these negative thought forms and words in our head can tell us all of this stuff that really kind of chips away at us, and then causes even the simplest task to seem arduous and absolutely like a mountain. So just take it slowly with yourself. You are successful at so many things every single day. You wake up and life breathes through you. That's a win. That is an absolute win. Oh, I'm sending you so much love, Pile 2. And also like this Knight of Swords with this 10, you're done with it. I don't think you would be at this reading if you weren't done with this behavior and you weren't done with it. I think you're just looking for a way out. You're looking at how you're gonna go on. So in the respect and like temperance, your temperance power is like so strong. Like you are able to cope with so much, but I think that you've been like, I think there's a little bit of delusion here, where you've been thinking that something is actually a really good situation when it's not. So in respect to knowing now what I know here with the cards and looking at this, and the idea is that you've got to keep on going. I think the main thing is that I feel like your self-esteem and your self-worth has been injured massively. And I feel like anything that is going to help you towards that, I think that you should keep it secret to yourself and only with people that you truly trust. And I don't know if the person who is actually responsible here, this Emperor, I don't know if that's somebody that you should be sharing that with, because they may be the very perpetrator of what's going on here. But then, you know, and you need to build that up really slowly. I know many vulnerable people, many vulnerable women that actually get themselves into situations where they subject themselves, and it's not just women, it's men as well, or it's people that subject themselves to certain situations that just demoralize, dehumanize, and absolutely, you know, impose this sense of like lack of worth and value, and they are incredible people. So that's the message here, Pile 2. Oh, I'm sending you so much love. Sending you so much love. So the beauty of this situation is that you know what's going on. I don't know. I think you've got some kind of power that is very powerful here. You've got, you know, it's almost like turning sorrow into gold. So it's almost like you're able to weave something into something very powerful. And yeah, there's something very strong. There's a strong sense and a strong force. I sense the force is strong within you, my darlings. But just as much as you're able to like go down to the depths of not feeling good and maybe a sense of self-punishment or self-flagellation, you know, that is your, like, if you were to turn that energy round, think about that, and that might be your power. But I totally understand it's very difficult to kind of do that. So that's why I was saying, like, any small thing that makes you feel good, treasure it. Keep it in a little treasure box for yourself. And I'm not talking about like anything like, okay, it could be like your favorite chocolate or something like that, but I'm not talking about anything else, like in the respect of like things that might damage your health. Well, lots of chocolate can damage your health, but you know what I mean? Like any kind of like narcotics or anything like that. But say things like exercise. If you enjoy roller skating and you're able to go roller skating, do that. You know, keep that in your little box of like things that are very precious to you, that make you feel good about yourself. And build up that box, build up that toolbox to help you. That'll be really, really helpful. Okay, so we've got some animal magic, chameleon, change. Change will be good for you, I think. Change will be really good for you because it will help you to be more confident in the attractiveness that you exude. Also in the respect of being able to deal with things on you know, on this kind of like changeable level, which I really feel that is happening here with this Knight of Swords. Well, with this Knight of Swords and with this Knight of Wands. Okay, and then we've got two Archangel cards that came through for you. You've got Archangel Uriel and Archangel Daniel. Elemental magic and divine heart communication. Wow. So Archangel Uriel is about connecting with the magic of the earth, connecting with the spirit of the earth. That's going to be very helpful for you. Do excuse me, bear with me 1 second. There's an ice cream van that's coming, bear with me. Sorry about that, my friends. I have a ice cream van that likes to come around, and now the weather is getting warmer. Ice cream van is back, and it stops outside my house. So let's move on to our, oh no, actually, let me talk a bit more about Archangel Uriel and Daniel. So there's something about you connecting to your heart and taking the time to do so. Being out in nature will really help you to do that. And I feel that there's kind of this transmutation from the energetic field of energy, of nature, to like help you to take time for yourself, to help you value yourself more. So I think that that's what's coming across here. And then we've got an affirmative card here. And then we've got gratitude. So today I'm grateful of all the little things. Even when the big things suck, there are always plenty of little things I can be at least grateful for, like hot showers and music, and the fact that humans have invented an internet and I'm allowed to use it whenever I want to, with using fingers and thumbs that do whatever I think them to do at any given moment. That's for most people. I'm sure that those of you who are watching this video do have that luxury. So, and it's not to say that, you know, that should take things over. It's almost like, you know, I don't want you to like undermine the fact that yes, but I do have a really amazing life. It's almost like being grateful for yourself and who you are and what you bring. Okay. Okay, and then we've got World Maker. World Maker is only job is only job in the final future, is the only job in the final future. I think there's a typo there. World Maker is the only job in the final future. So it's about you making your own world. You are the creator of your destiny. You are the captain of your soul. Okay, and then I've got like two like power cards here. So we've got here the power to tolerate. Hang on a minute. Yeah, wow, okay. The power to tolerate. You are powerful. No matter what obstacles or attacks are thrown your way, you look in the mirror of self-awareness and reflect on your own issues. Amazing. So please do remember that as you go forward in this work. And then also the power to decide. You are powerful. Trust time and wait. And wait. Never be pushed into making an important decision. You know what to do. So this is self-empowerment of self, which is being kind of encouraged here. So yes, I think that's all I have for you, pile 2. I hope you enjoyed this message. It is, you know, it just, I just want to just kind of scoop you up and just kind of say, it's going to be okay, pile 2. It's going to be all right. You're amazing human beings and you deserve all the happiness in the world. You deserve beautiful, beautiful things. Please remember that. You are an incredible and beautiful human being. So please do remember that. If you like this reading, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. But otherwise, my darlings, you take care. Have a beautiful day. And remember that honesty is always key. Bye. Hello, pile 3, and welcome to your reading. So, a reminder of your worth, of your beautiful worth, my darling. So let's see. Wow, Final Destination. Always reminds me of the movie, right? I haven't actually seen it, but it's interesting. So, I mean, what gets me about this card is that the final destination is not the means to the journey. It's not what is really, that's not the most important thing. Because you've got all of these beautiful things that kind of emerge from this card. You've got almost like this incredible journey that's happening along the way. And you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of like, I don't know if it, like Labyrinth. And the whole thing about Labyrinth, the movie, with David Bowie is, you know, the protagonist, Sarah, goes through this whole journey of kind of discovery of self and how much she truly loves her brother and appreciates her brother. But she has to go on that journey before and lose him before and struggle to get him before she can actually fully appreciate and understand him to the extent that she does by the end of the film. And I think that that's what this is about. It's about you know, this kind of focus on the final destination may cause a little bit of cloudiness. So in order to really appreciate the sense of your worth and value, it's almost like taking each step and understanding that each of those steps are intrinsic to the sense of value within yourself. Pile 3. That's what I'm getting. Okay, let's have a look at your other cards. You got 5 and it's reversed. You got the Maiden, a new relationship blossoms, and that's reversed. You've got here Thorn Apple, which is Datura. Okay, interesting. And it's reversed. You've also got like some really interesting symbology with the moon moth as well here. That's Venus, Saturn, Jupiter, and water. And some other symbols, I have no idea what they mean. And they didn't provide a key in the book, so I don't know. They will remain a mystery. And then you've got Joan Collins. Wow, beauty is power, so use it rather than lose it. Age is just a number, irrelevant unless it is a vintage wine. Everyone is a potential character for a novel, darling. Okay, fabulous. It's just that guy in the background with the tennis racket. It's so 80s. I love it. I used to hate the 80s when I was growing up, but now I love it. And then you've also got Balance with a picture of Mercury on the back. Beautiful. So, okay. So what I'm getting here is there's this, I don't know, I feel like you may be thinking that you know, I feel like there's a bit of complacency, or maybe feeling a little bit like low on energy in the respect of like what's happened so far, what's happened in your kind of experience so far. And I think if you're comparing yourself at all to anybody else, like if you're thinking, oh, I haven't got the house, or I haven't got the partnership, or I'm not married yet, or something like that, that's basically making you think that you're missing out, and that you should have achieved certain things by a particular time, I think that needs to go in the bin, because that's something that's actually disempowering you. And what the universe is saying to you, or this reading is saying to you, is that, you know, you have gone through so much or so many things, and they've made up to all of the beautiful components that are you. And even if you were to take one step different on that path, it would lead to a very different you. And that is essentially what's really valuable. And I think when you get out of this conflict of yourself thinking that, you know, you should have got to a certain place at a certain time, then you'll kind of, you know, then you'll kind of go like, you'll understand your sense of self-value and self-worth better. There is another thing here, which it could be that you are at your final point, but I don't think so. I think it's more to do with you appreciating the journey here. I'm just going to double check some information about thorn apple. And thorn apple, like datura, the idea of, well, datura is a very poisonous plant, but it is used in medicinal preparation. It's kind of to help you kind of go to the place of, it has a strong sexual and magnetic quality for it, but it's also ruled by Saturn, so it could also grant protection. But it's also very good at you traveling between worlds. So maybe there's some expectations that are kind of hanging on, that you're hanging on to, and that's kind of stopping you from being able to really appreciate where you are. I think it's, yeah, that kind of matches with the fact that if we hang on to like the things that we didn't do right, or the things that we didn't get, or there's just regret. Better to regret the things that you did than things that you didn't do, you know? And that's very much in the energy of Joan Collins as well. And also in the relation of this, I think it's important just to kind of just keep on walking, just to kind of keep on doing things. And everything is in a balance, you know? Not everything can be great all the time. And I think there's this pressure to like make things good all the time. I am also getting that with the sense of the 5. The fact that the 5 is reversed, though, gives me the idea. And it's interesting. We've got 2 pentacles here. Reversed. Okay, so what that says to me is that there is a displacement of material ideals, and that may be causing a detriment in self-worth, I think. Because you've got here, thorn apple is beguiling. People are deeply attracted to it or deeply repulsed by it. So there's this Marmite, which is yeast extract in the UK. It's either you either love it or you hate it kind of vibe. This is about us getting in touch with our essential side and remembering that I am beautiful, I'm powerful, and I could go wherever I want. That's the affirmation that's associated with it. The main thing is to remember our dreams, and to remember the real passion about why we are doing what we're doing. Sometimes we can get stuck in the doggedness of the journey, or like, is it going to end? Am I ever going to get there? Am I ever going to be successful? But the thing is that the whole process of the journey is something that's really integral to the actual final destination. I'm finding, I'll give you an example, like I'm currently like studying at the moment, and it's also really important to like document my kind of process in the research that I'm doing. So it's really, you know, if I don't document not just my process with my participants and my people who I'm studying, but also with myself and my own personal process and how I'm evolving through this and how I'm going through this journey. And then it's not just about me writing the final thesis, it's about me and how I transmute this information into something that can be useful for future for future audiences, or, you know, in terms of what I'm studying. So I think it's really important to value each step of the process. It's really important to document that. And if you if you are feeling stuck, it might be useful to like just have a look at like different points of your life or different points of when you started this journey and see how things go and see how you are. So, you know, there's a really famous saying by a particular actor who I won't mention. But he says, like, you know, just keep going, and sometimes you turn around and you'll find that you've climbed a mountain. It's really beautiful. So yeah, that's kind of what's, you know, what's being highlighted to you in this reading. Pile 3. Pile 3, how can pile 3 be reminded of their worth? 10 of Wands came up for all piles. Interesting. 3 of Pentacles. Lovely. Wheel of Fortune reversed. I love this Wheel of Fortune. It's so colourful. Page of Cups. And the Ace of Wands. Okay, right. I see what is going on. So it's interesting how we go from the 10 of Wands to the Ace of Wands. Both are reversed. So what I'm seeing here is that there may be some kind of passion for the, you know, there may be some kind of, you know, there is a sense of love of what you're doing, and you're being consistent, you're working consistently, but there's something that's not quite aligning. It's not quite coming together, and it's because the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Wands is not there. So there's something about the drive and the desire, and I don't know, I've got a feeling that you might be losing energy through this, because there is a focus on the wrong part. That, you know, whenever I see the Pentacle reversed reminds me of the flip side. It reminds me of the kind of like devil energy, and the devil energy is Capricornian energy, which is that kind of like, got to do things now, got to like intensely be like number one, got to be on the ball, got to be doing, you know, I've got to be really hard working, I've got to like, you know, they are the ones who are the entrepreneurs of the zodiac. So they're the ones that work twice, 3, 4 times as hard as everybody else. And they are brilliant for it. They're usually the CEOs of businesses. They're usually like managers. They're usually like, most of the Capricorns I know are very, very successful. So with that 5 reversed, and then also this image here with the Datura, there's almost like there's a need to come back to the sense of like drive. Like it's all like, that's not, I don't know, what is your motivation? I ask you, is your motivation the final destination of what you want to get to? Or is it that you want to kind of, you know, it's the same thing. Like, I'll give you the analogy of working out came into my head. So it's that idea of like, okay, I want like a particular type of body. So, but when you get to that point, usually that doesn't happen. Like you don't stop there. You continue on your journey, or like you stop or whatever. But like, I don't know, there's like a process. And remembering your why consistently will help you to maintain that sense of vigor. That will encourage you to continue just taking one step at a time. And it could be as simple as you doing a small thing every day. Like, that's what I'm trying to do. Like, trying to incorporate maybe 25 minutes, 10 minutes, small things, which I kind of stack on top of each other, which help me to compose like a whole kind of beautiful array of things that I'm doing with my day. And, you know, usually we structure that around certain things. So say, for example, if we go to work, then we know that we can structure like something, and we like, say, go to the gym after work or something like that. But if you're creative, or you're doing something, or you're maybe self-employed, it might be quite difficult to adhere to that. And particularly when you're at this point where you're like focused on this is what you want. I used to see it a lot as well when I was an actor. You know, people would be focused on getting that goal of like getting a really big role, or getting something that was going to maintain some kind of financial security for themselves. But then once that job was over, then what did they do? And then it was this kind of like insatiable hole, which they just consistently were filling with things because they were just chasing that dream. So what the main thing is like, you've got the work sorted out, you love it, but there's something about the drive and the passion that's going on. There's something about the drive. Like, the Ace of Wands is sexuality. It's pure sexuality and sexual energy. It's the energy of creation. The Page of Cups is more to do with the the kind of maturity level of the emotions that are attached to it. So you kind of understand that on an emotional level, but then there's some kind of schism or some kind of like blockage that's going on here with that. So I think when we come to Joan Collins's card here, this card, it's about you remembering that, you know, why are you doing this? Why? What is your why? That's the big question here, pile 3. What is your why? And everything has to be in balance for you to be able to work it. Because, I don't know, I just get this feeling that you're thinking like, I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing and I'm not getting it right. So there's something on a mental level and this kind of like integral level of this passionate energy that needs to... I don't know if you work, like, you may not find that you're as energetic as you normally are. Because you might feel that there's a lack of like motivation from the universe, but really... this is a sign to tell you that your motivation is being placed on the material outcomes of your situation. And once you start to think about what does it give you? What makes you light? What lights your fire and makes you like really kind of go, you know, what is that? That's the Ace of Wands. So let's have some information about this. 10 of Wands. The Hierophant. You're going to have to like approach it in a very different way to what you have done before. I've just got the feeling that you did something. You're doing something similar. So the idea I'm getting here is that you can't do the same thing and expect this. You can't do the same thing and expect different results. Okay? We've got the Ace of Cups reversed. Wow. Yeah. Okay, this is really interesting. So sometimes we have to go back. Sometimes we have to go backwards to go forward. Sometimes we have to revisit things that we think that we've conquered. Sometimes we have to unlearn what we have learned. And I think that there's something about that going on here. Like you might think that you've reached a certain level and that you've got that. I think you might need to discard that in the respect of that. I mean, you may have somebody who's really kind of giving you the support that you need and being your muse or maybe your inspiration for what you're doing. But I think it's also important that you make sure that that well is coming from you as well, because there's a blockage here. With that Ace of Wands reversed and also the Ace of Cups reversed, it says to me that there is a stop. Like I always see the Ace of Wands as if like, you know, there's a fountain bubbling. So the Ace of Cups is like a fountain bubbling up and then you push down the water, you know, like when you were a kid and you tried to like stop the water from coming in with your hand. It's like that kind of thing, and you just can't do that because, you know, you spent all that effort and time trying to push it down and it just doesn't work out. So the Seven of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune, I think like there's a little bit of excuses being made here in the respect of like you thinking that it's not your time. And again, I'm going to use the analogy of acting. And I've created a course that's like specific for actors. So I've observed how groups of people, and my own personal belief is that understanding that there is a small percentage of actors that make the spotlight, which is the dream for the majority. So we're looking at a 5%, 5 to 10% bracket of people vying, of the 100% of the acting profession vying for those jobs, and only 5 to 10% actually make it. Now, the 5 to 10% usually constitute of a particular set of values, and those values, you know, you have to have them, and if you have them, then you will be able to work in that industry. Now, as someone who worked in that industry, and I found that my values did not match with it, in the respect of being up at those levels, because it's a very interesting game once you get up that high. You just kind of like think, okay, am I made for this or am I not? And I think that there is this kind of like kidding of oneself, believing that you're not in the right time and the right place for this to happen so that you can get to that point. And I don't think that that's the truth. I think the truth is that, you know, you are very worthy of doing this, but it's just like a different context. There's something that needs to be changed here. Like it's almost like you have to change things at the root. In order, the start. We've got 2 starts here. Things have to be changed here. There's nothing wrong with the thing itself. It's about how you start. And that lack of being able to start with that passionate drive, and also with the sense of like pure love of self. Because I feel like even though we've got the Page of Cups here, I'm feeling like a sense of jadedness, which was reflected here with the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords I see as someone who's kidding themselves, someone who's trying to lie to themselves and trying to put themselves in a position which, you know, they kind of, you know, give the excuses. I'm not saying that, you know, this is, we do it all the time, okay? Don't you know, don't take personally. This is about you being able to understand, okay, because, and also, as you know, my readings are the way that they are. They, you know, it's better to be honest than for me to sugarcoat things for you. And I'm sure those of you who come to my readings understand that. But I think it's also very important for you to realize that, you know, this here, it's not about fate and destiny, okay? This is about you, you know, what's that saying? Luck. I think it's, luck is opportunity and preparedness meeting each other at the same point. So it's when you're fully prepared for a situation, and I used to get this about auditions all the time. The reason why you know, people are so lucky because they get auditions all the time, or they land auditions all the time. I know personally, as someone who used to go to a shed ton of auditions and not land, I knew that I didn't really want the job, quite simply. Like, I knew that I did not want it. I hated working on set. I hated doing that sort of thing, even though it was something that I believed for such a long time that I dreamt of. And people go through that all the time. They love to live in that fantasy world. And I think there's a little bit of this here, a little bit of this here. I don't think you'd be coming to this reading if you didn't, like, you know, understand that. But like, this is how you're going to achieve your sense of self-worth, pile 3. Bit of a tougher message. I was hoping that it'd be a bit more fluffy, but hey, it's what the cards want to say. It's saying that you've got everything that you need, but I think there's just there's something on the kilter of the direction that you're heading in, and I think it just needs to be slightly tilted slightly or something, because you're getting frustrated. The Devil. Okay, so there's some kind of obsession in the wrong space. Again, we've got that. Again, we've got this reverse pentacle. Yeah, there's something going on here, pile 3. Okay, so we've got the Page of Swords reversed, and then we've also got the 5 of Swords reversed. So there's something that you're not accepting defeat about, and there's a sense of like refusing to face something. Well, I don't know, actually. I see that as actually you have an inkling about it. You understand it to a certain point. But there still may be a sense of denial that you think that what you're doing is okay. That what you're doing is making you happy. You think, I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing, Reena. I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about. I wouldn't go as far as saying that it's denial. So you're not sailing down that one so far. It could be. But you know what your saving grace is? The fact that that 5 is reversed. Because I'm just thinking that there is a desire to want to get out of this situation. But with this new relation, with this Maiden card, and with the Maiden card, and there's just a lot of reversals here. And also with that Devil reversed, and then the Hierophant reversed. Interesting. Because the Devil and the Hierophant are very similar looking in the Rider-Waite. So, and it's 5, and that's 15. So, and that's why I was thinking, like, there's something about you being able to come back to the Ace and restructure it and redo it. Okay. So, I mean, it is a bit of a tough message, pile 3. But it is quite clear that there's something that you need to go back to the drawing board on. Definitely. To restructure and to understand that the end goal is not the end, that it's about the journey. So let's have a look at your other cards as well. Remember, this is a reminder of your worth, okay? So I'm telling you how you can find your worth, pile. This is how you can connect back in. It's a message from the universe to help you do that. So you've got polar bear here. You've got ancestors. So there is something ancestral here. I was feeling it. There is something that is, maybe there's some ancestral patterning or something like that. But there's something about you connecting to the power of your ancestors that's going to help you to understand your journey a bit better in what you're doing and your why. We're thinking about your why, okay? And then we've got 2 angel cards here. We've got this beautiful card of serenity. That's peace. And I don't feel like there's a lot of peace with you right now. I feel like there's a lot of go, go, go intensity. And then you've got Archangel Michael. Okay, right. Yeah, something's protecting you. It's giving you courage, strength, and protection. You have got a lot of devil energy here. I did say that about like the whole Capricornian energy, 10th house energy, intense, like driven energy. There is a lot of it here. So, you know, I think it's important to remember that, you know, you can't be on the go all the time. Batteries run out. Things can't, you know, things have to take a breather. Things have to take a break, no matter what, you know. Things can't keep on going consistently. And even if it's in a way that you don't even notice, so it may be like, say, for example, like, you know, I remember one of my meditation teachers told me about a flame. And a flame isn't the same flame it was when you first lit it. It goes through a process of going and coming. But then the idea of that flame, like coming back, it happens so fast that we can't see it. So all we see is just that one flame burning bright. So it's the idea of like, and so that means that the flame dies and then it comes back again, like, or a new flame comes back. So that's the kind of idea that needs to be here. So even if like you think you have the illusion that people or things don't change, there is change here. And your ancestors want to communicate that to you. I think it might be important for you to like do some meditation to connect with, you know, your background and your ancestry. That might be really useful for you, pile 3. Okay, or any kind of lessons that you have taken if you have done any work with your ancestral lines. So, okay, so we've got this affirmators card, which is amazing. And then we've got this, which is perseverance. It seems like you're on a massive journey right now. And this card has arrived to remind you that you will reach the other side. The mountain you're climbing is huge and formidable, but so is your ability to climb it. You don't need to enjoy it. You just need to tackle it. Complain if it makes the job easier. Blow off steam. There we go. If you think mountain climbers get to the top of Everest on inspirational quotes, no way. They're grunting, they're crying and cursing like freaking pirates. But that doesn't sell a lot of posters. See? That's really interesting. You may also be involving yourself in particular coping mechanisms as well. Okay? So, you know, when people talk about they climbed Everest, you know, they think about the whole journey and about how they did that. You know, it's all integral to the whole process. It's not just specific to the fact that they got up there. They had to get up there, didn't they? They had to get there. Okay, so I've got this card here. You're never more than half a step away from being back in the flow. Wow. Lots of mountain vibes, right? Because you've got this here as well. So there's something about climbing mountains, and also coming back to that quote that I said about, you know, keep going, and then like, you know, you'll see that you've climbed a mountain with that whole final destination card. So yeah, it's really interesting. And then you've got 2 power cards to close out the reading. So you've got the power to discern. You are powerful. The disappointments and joys in your life are now part of the inner map. Let you know what is destructive and what is helpful. Beautiful. And then you've got the power to tolerate. You are powerful. God, everybody got that. Your patient tolerance of circumstances creates a calm atmosphere that settles a cacophony of attitudes. But it was different for everybody. That's really interesting. Wow, these cards are amazing. Anyway, my darlings, that is the messages that I have for you to help you on the path and to reunite you with your sense of self-worth. I hope you enjoyed that message. I'm sending you a big hug, my darlings. Well done for watching all the way through. If you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. I do daily uploads as well. And if you'd like a personal reading, please do get in touch down in the description box below. But otherwise, my darlings, have a beautiful, beautiful day. Thank you so much. And remember that honesty is always key. Bye.